Rayan had always lived on the edge of other people's success. He was the one clapping the loudest, smiling the widest, and standing slightly behind while the world moved forward without him. In classrooms, his name was never called when teachers spoke about potential. At family gatherings, relatives praised others while Rayan became invisible. He wasn't lazy, he wasn't careless, he was simply unnoticed. At home, money was always tight. His father had passed away years earlier, leaving behind silence and responsibility. Rayan became the man of the house before he ever learned how to be a young man. His mother never complained, but her tired eyes told stories she never spoke aloud. Every morning, she placed her hand on his head and whispered a prayer. And every evening, Rayan returned home carrying exhaustion in his bones. He tried everything. Different courses, different skills, different dreams. Each failure left a mark not on his resume, but on his heart. What's the point? He often asked himself while staring at the ceiling of his small room. Why does effort never turn into reward for me? His friends slowly drifted away, not because they wanted to, but because their lives moved faster. Promotions, engagements, new cars, big plans. Conversations became awkward. Rayan no longer fit into their excitement, and they no longer understood his silence. The words that hurt the most came from people who thought they were helping. Be realistic. Some people just aren't meant for big things. Maybe this is enough for you, Rayan. Learned how to smile at those words. He learned how to nod. He learned how to agree. But every night, that agreement crushed him a little more. One evening, after a particularly hard day, the power went out. The house fell into darkness. No fan, no lights. No noise, just silence. Rayan walked up to the rooftop, the place where he always went when his thoughts became too heavy. The city below was quiet, but above him, the sky was full of stars, countless, distant, shining in their own time. He remembered being a child, lying beside his mother on the same rooftop. Annie, he had asked, why don't all stars shine equally? She had smiled and replied, because if they did, we wouldn't notice the ones that shine later. That memory hit him harder than any failure ever had. For the first time, Rayan allowed himself to think something different. Maybe I'm not broken. Maybe I'm just early. Or late, or different. That night, he cried not loudly, not dramatically, but quietly. The kind of crying that washes something old out of your chest. And in that silence, he made a decision not to win, not to prove anyone wrong, but simply to continue. The next morning, Rayan woke up earlier than usual. He didn't announce his plans. He didn't tell anyone. He just started showing up for himself. Some days were brutal. He failed interviews. He doubted his abilities. He compared himself to others and felt small all over again. But this time, he didn't stop. He read when he was tired. He practiced when no one was watching. He learned from mistakes instead of running from them. Progress was slow, painfully slow. There were months when nothing changed, when it felt like life was testing his patience on purpose. But something inside him was changing quietly, steadily. Years passed. One ordinary afternoon, Rayan was asked for his opinion at work. People listened. They nodded. They wrote things down. It shocked him, not because he felt important, but because he finally felt seen. Later that evening, his mother looked at him and said, her voice soft with pride, "My son, you've come so far." Rayan couldn't speak. Tears filled his eyes, not for success, not for money, but for the boy he once was, the boy who almost gave up believing. That night, standing once again on the rooftop, Rayan looked at the sky and smiled. He finally understood. Life doesn't move at the same pace for everyone. Some people rise early. Some rise late, but those who keep rising rise stronger. And sometimes, the greatest transformation doesn't happen when the world believes in you. It happens the day you stop doubting yourself.